What is up, boys? Welcome back to the video on the channel. And today, guys, we're with another commentary video. Today we have why I think the Tennessee Titans will win the AFC South. But if you video, make sure to sub and like button, for more videos like this. Let's run up the likes. And make sure you sub. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so we very much appreciate it. And let's go into it. So, I do think that they will win the AFC South. It's basically between them and the Colts. And I do think they edged the Colts out by like 1 or 2 games. I think the Titans have the most complete offense in the league. If not, then maybe the second most complete. But I think they probably have the most complete offense. If you just looked at their offense top to bottom. Defense is lackluster, but I think their defense is okay enough where they will win the division. Because I don't think the Colts will win it with like Carson Wentz is their, quarterback. I just don't think he's that good anymore. So yeah, let's go into it. So, at quarterback, the Titans have Ryan Tannehill, who in my opinion is a borderline top 10 quarterback, maybe top 10, maybe at that 9 or 10 spot. He's a pretty good quarterback. He's not amazing, but he is above average, and he is around like a top 10 quarterback. And I think he will lead them to wins. At running back, they have the best running back in the league, Derrick Henry, who I think he'll have another monster season. Last year he rushed for over 2,000 yards. He had like 15 touchdowns. Insane season. I think he's gonna, I don't know if he'll go for 2,000, but I think he'll at least have it's like 1,500, 1,600 plus yards. And then, at wide receiver, they picked up Julio Jones. They traded for him. In my opinion, still a top 5 receiver in the league. People forget in 2019, he was probably the best receiver in the league. Last year, he was just banged up. And even when he did play, he was still pretty decent. But he did play the whole year basically banged up. So this year, he's going to have a healthy season. A Ryan Tannehill, who I think is a better quarterback than Matt Ryan. And then you have A.J. Brown, who in my opinion is, probably a top 10, borderline top 10 receiver. He's a very good receiver, he's coming into his 3rd year. I think he could make a big leap, maybe get into that top 7, top 6 range. And yeah, their other receivers, they don't have a defined 3rd receiver yet, but those 2 top 10 receivers will get the job done. At tight end, they have Anthony Berkshire. Not a great tight end, but he'll get the job done. They did lose Jonnu Smith, who was a pretty good tight end, but yeah, they have Anthony Berkshire right now. Offensive line is arguably a top 5 offensive line, maybe top 10. It's very, very good in my opinion. So at left tackle, they have Taylor Lewan, who's a pretty nice left tackle. At left guard, they have Roger Saffold, who's a really good guard in my opinion. And then at center, they have Ben Jones, who's getting old, but he still gets the job done. He's still a solid center. At right guard, they have Nate Davis. And yeah, so I think their offensive line with those 4 are probably top 10, maybe top 5. And I think they do have the most complete offense. If you just look at, quarterback, running back, receiver, offensive line, their only hole on offense is really the tight end. But I think everything else really makes up for it. And then you head over to the defense. Defense isn't great, but I think it is better than people might say. I know it is one of the worst defenses. It's probably like a bottom 10 defense. But their linebackers are actually pretty nice in my opinion. They have Jayon Brown, Rashaan Evans, Bud Dupree, and Harold Landry. I think that's a very nice linebacker core. All of those are pretty good, players. At cornerbacks, their corners are decent. They drafted Caleb Farley, who I think he'll be pretty good, out of Virginia Tech. Then they have Janoris Jenkins, who is okay. And the safeties are pretty good. They have at strong safety, they have Amani Hooker, and at free safety, they have Kevin Byard. Which Kevin Byard is, in my opinion, one of the best safeties in the league still. So yeah, and then at defensive line, they have Jeffrey Simmons, who they did draft a couple years ago. I think he's a pretty solid player. They have Danico Autry, who is he's a decent right end, and then that's their defense. So yeah, I think their offense is top 3 in the league. I think it's the most complete offense in the league, probably maybe second behind like the Bucks or something. And then defense is not great, but I think it is alright. I think their linebackers are really good. Corners are not good. Safeties I think are pretty good. And then defensive line is just alright. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the team. Yeah, I do think they will win the division. And yeah, let's go ahead and go over to the schedule. So the schedule is basically going to be my record prediction for them. You know, what the record will be when they win the division. So week 1, they go against the Arizona Cardinals. I think they will edge the Cardinals out there. I think it'll be a close game, but I do think they'll win that game. And then week 2, they have the Seahawks. I think it's going to be a good game. You know, neither of them have a great defense. And I do think the Titans have a better offense, but I think the Seahawks will edge them out there. So I think they'll be 1-1. Then they go against the Colts. I think they'll go 2-1. They have the Jets, which will be a blowout. That'll be 3-1. Then they have the Jaguars. That's another W. I say they go 4-1. Then they have the Bills, who will be a tough opponent, but I do think they will edge out the Bills. Their offense is just so explosive, and the Bills don't have the best defense in the world. So I say they will win the Bills. They will win against the Bills, and they'll be 5-1. Their schedule does get pretty tough coming up here. So they have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I will mark that as a loss. So they'll be 5-2. They have the Colts again. I think they will win that game against Colts. They'll be 6-2. Then they have the Rams. The Rams defense is really good. I'm gonna say they lose that game. So I would say they'll be 6-3. They have the Saints. That's a win in my opinion. So that'll be 7-3. And they have the Texans, 8-3. The Patriots could be a tough opponent. They have a pretty good defense. I'll say they play bad that game and take an L. So I said they'll be 8-4. Next game, week 14. They have the Jaguars. I think they will win that game. It'll be 9-4 after that game. Then they have the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are that good. You know, Big Ben is washed now. So I said they win that game. So it'll be 10-4. The Niners could be a close game. I'm going to say they win that game. They'll be 11-4. Then they have the Dolphins, who I say they would lose that game. And the Dolphins are a pretty good team, and I say they would take that game. So I say they'll be 11-5, and then last game of the season, the Texans. I say that's a W. So I say they go 12-5 and win the division. You know, I think it's a pretty fair prediction. 12-5 with their schedule. I think it's a pretty good prediction. I think 12 wins is a pretty fair, a pretty fair prediction. I think the Colts will win about 10 or 11 games. I think they will just miss the playoffs. Will just miss the division title. I'm sorry. They'll probably still make the playoffs. But I do think the Titans will take the division. Yeah, I think their roster is better than the Colts. Carson Wentz, I don't think he can, lead the Colts to a division title. I don't think he's that good anymore. He's super injury prone. So yeah, guys. That is why I think the Tennessee Titans will win the AFC South. Remember, make sure you hit the sub and like button for more videos like this. Let's run up the likes here, boys. Road 2,000 subscribers. So if you can hit the sub button, that'd be very much appreciated. And if you want more videos like this, just let me know in the comment section. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and peace out.